About a month ago, ASA Michelle Boutros took the stand and exposed lead detective Mark Moretti for soliciting lies and conducting Melly's mom's search warrant for her phone. Boutros also stated she would never work with Mark Moretti again because of the way he took the phone and how he conducted the search warrant.
I leave the room, I'm done with the statement. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done investigating this case because I don't work with detectives that solicit lies.
But today, the state came back fighting and exposed that Michelle Boutros is a little liar. She is caught on audio tape with Mark Moretti discussing how she did see Melly's mom trying to turn off the phone, but then on the stand, she says the exact opposite. I'm gonna read this full document. It's crazy. It's in the last half of this video. Hit subscribe right now. Let's get right into this. So yeah, so much of this stream is gone. Apparently deleted the stream midway through the day and got rid of so much of the testimonies.
In the search warrant, you talk about Jake King having been contacted by Joe at about 4:30 in the morning.
I didn't specify time, sir.
Where'd you get that information?
The initial, like I said, in our investigation, it revealed that they had communicated. That in our investigation came from text messages that we received from the Bagley family stating that there was communications. When I spoke with Ms. King at the hospital, I believe that she said that she had communicated with her son. She did not know where he's at, and she did provide his phone number. And we did later corroborate that. We did find out that they were communicating.
There's the phone records of that.
Instagram. They communicated through Instagram. We had the actual messages of them communicating at that time. That was later corroborated by Rose.
Now, in the affidavit, what information in that affidavit is your personal knowledge, and what information comes from other sources?
Specifically, which one are you referring to?
So I'm asking what in that affidavit is your personal knowledge?
Everything here is my personal knowledge. When it leads to the investigation, it says our investigation also revealed.
Our. What is your knowledge?
I did see the text messages from the Bagley family. We do have them. They were linked into evidence. You have them as part of discovery. That's where we first was made aware that there was communications that morning.
4:35, victim Portland Henry entered the emergency room, and it goes on. Where did you get that information from?
The officers on scene, the video. We had the vehicle right there, right in the ER entrance. That portion was all relayed to me by the officer on scene. Recording studio evidence was obtained from Detective Bertrand and Detective Toyota. Well, it says Williams because I first wrote that. It's actually Dontavius Withers.
He just had Dontavius Withers, one of the guys that was in the separate vehicles from the studio, lied about his name at first and said his name was Williams. That's funny as shit. The audio is so bad. It's, oh my god.
The detective is requesting a warrant for cell phone. 9807, the cell site used by said cell phone. This is a cell phone number for Janelle Evans. This also requires a warrant for cell phone number 9081 and the cell site used by said cell phone number. This is the cell phone number used by Anthony Williams. This warrant is specific to the historical data.
You said that the phone used that the cell site. How did you know?
Common knowledge, sir.
Common knowledge.
I have
every cell site.
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe common to you, but you know that you believe everybody knows that.
You asked me to testify what everyone would know in the United States, sir.
You asked me to testify what everyone would know in the United States. That was a good one. They don't like this detective talking about cell sites at all because they weren't able to ask him in deposition about any of that, and it kind of blindsided them. But it's kind of their fault for not reading the affidavit years ago, and then in their first deposition asking him.
What is ATI?
Oh, advanced timing information that you're referring to? Advanced timing information is data that is collected by the cellular companies. It's a way that the network is able to communicate with the phone, as well as a way that they can dial into the validity of the phone and how it communicates with the tower. Timing Advance also provides us, law enforcement, with historical location data. They're reviewed by state attorney who knows what we're talking about. They're also submitted to a judge. These warrants don't go to a common person. So anyone that deals with this or has been dealing with this knows what this information is.
And it does not. There's no place in the affidavit that you explain what ATI is.
So it's industry standard, sir. I can't testify to what a judge does or does not know.
Well, these lawyers just point out that there's no explanation of what ATI is in the affidavit.
There was some discussion by counsel about her taking a sample of the phone and turning the phone off. Turning the phone off essentially locks the phone and re-encrypts the data, correct?
Correct.
And
these are the two prosecutors right here, by the way, these two on the left.
There's a term known as before first unlock and after first unlock. And when a phone had a passcode entered and has been previously unlocked, that's known as after first unlock, correct?
AFU, yes, sir.
And AFU, a lot more of the data will be retrievable once the device has been seized. Whereas if an individual has managed to power off their phone, the phone is encrypted, it is much more difficult to get into a phone.
It's almost impossible. You may get some pictures and something, but the core data, you will not get.
When you were in that room with Ms. King and she was attempting to turn off the phone, it was your position she was attempting to destroy or hide data at that point.
100%.
He said 100%. She was trying to turn off her phone and make it harder for us to get that data, dude. Hell nah. I would have broke that bitch's wrist if I had to.
It's actually backed up because you testified when you went through some of her messages, you found messages in the phone saying, don't contact me, the police are on me, etc., etc.
Correct.
Now, counsel also brought up that you had learned that subsequent to this, Ms. Boutros had explained to members of our office that she no longer wanted to work with you after what happened in that room on October 12th, correct? In fact, Ms. Boutros did continue to work with you afterwards, didn't she?
Correct.
It was hard to hear, but did he say that Miss Boutros did work with him after? So Miss Boutros lied about working with Moretti?
Yes, sir. The subpoena dated 17th October.
Are those subpoenas that you sent Ms. Boutros in regards to this case?
Yes.
And those were sent after what happened in that room on October 12th?
Yes.
Did she approve and return those subpoenas to you?
Yes.
What are those?
Those are text messages between Ms. Boutros and I, October 17th,
And in short, what are those communications in regards to?
discussing the case.
So after this October 12th incident where she's alleged to have said that she no longer wanted to work with you, she continued to work with you on this case.
Correct.
In fact, she reached out to you and asked about the phone and executing the phone dump and if you had gotten into the phone.
Correct.
Well, all of her credibility just went out the window. She acted like she never talked to him again on the stand like a month ago. Y'all remember that? Why would she cap about that, knowing that they could just get text messages between them?
So from your perspective, it appears Ms. Boutros was still fully involved in this investigation after October 12th.
Yes.
Counsel also asked you that you, after October 12th, you had decided not to return the phone. Were you planning on sending the phone out to another agency?
I was going to have the Secret Service look at it to get a more in-depth look into the metadata. It's beyond my capabilities.
Do the Secret Service have better tools and, I guess, more experienced people who can look through a phone with a higher level of scrutiny than you're able to?
Yes, sir.
And part of that is based upon the fact that when you testified that it appeared the phone, she had already wiped the data on it.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if it's possible to recover wiped data on a phone?
Yes, it is. This was an email that I sent to Ms. Boutros. It basically, I told her that I will not be returning the cell phone. I'll be getting a second opinion from the Secret Service. I also said there was another $300,000 that was granted to her account, which puts up about $600,000 that we can't account for. And I put her, she's struggling to financially pay her simplest bills, and that goes back to where's all the money.
Hold on, $600,000. Was he talking about $600,000? I missed $600,000 we can't account for. I don't know any information about this.
What's the date of that email?
The October 17th.
So as late as October 17th, 5 days after you had seized the phone, you're still having a conversation with Ms. Boutros about the nature of the investigation, where the investigation is proceeding, new evidence that you're discovering, and other information that would be relevant to her as the person reviewing the case.
Correct.
Damn, I wonder what Melly thinking. The lady that came up there and basically made the lead detective look terrible. He is kind of sketchy, let's be honest. That situation's still pretty sketchy about him taking her phone, but the lady that witnessed it all was in the room with him. Turns out to be a little bit of a liar.
Your interview with Ms. King, approximately how much, or what percentage of that questioning involved the investigation into witness tampering with her?
The whole interview was geared towards that.
That f***ing cough, dude. I have my audio up so loud so I can hear, and that cough just absolutely f***s my ears each time.
States, one. What case number's on that?
1810.
Is that the tampering case? Yes. Is that homicide? Yes. Okay, so it's case for the homicide. What case number is this in reference to? And that's in it, you're talking about the phone, correct? Correct. And evidence on the phone. Correct. Okay, so they were intermingled or intertwined so much to the point that when you're talking about what evidence is on the phone, you put it under the homicide case number, correct?
Correct. Because I actually never opened a case number for the tampering.
This can get charged with tampering. That's what judge is saying.
He says Miss King charged with witness tampering. So I think what he's hinting at here is that anything on her phone is like irrelevant to the homicide case. All right, we're gonna go through my man Bryson Paul's tweets right here. So go follow this guy. He's a great reporter because obviously a lot of the stream got deleted today and he was real times tweeting out because he's a legend. So let's read some of these tweets so we can get a lot of the information that happened today since the stream is deleted. So here's Miss Boutros, the state attorney that basically snitched on the detective saying that he took the phone illegally. ASA Michelle Boutros appears very confident, very calm, and very detailed during the examination by Melly's defense. YNW Melly's defense examination finds ASA Michelle Boutros delivering a close identical testimony she gave days before the removal of former ASA Christine Bradley. Judge Murphy said, "Excuse me, I don't want you shaking your head, sir." Who is this about? I believe it was directed toward the prosecutor as the witness was testifying, one of their own. Isn't it fucking crazy that Melly's team was able to get prosecutors upset with each each other. For the record, 3 cases involving Detective Moretti where you were the assigned prosecutor. You don't remember working with him? Boutros, I don't remember. Ooh, that's cap. She's lying, dude. How do you not know that? God damn it. I'm upset this isn't on video. Christopher YNW Juvie Thomas Jr. would have turned 25. Damn. Rest in peace, Juvie, bro. That's crazy. The state. You said you would never work with Detective Moretti again, but did you? ASA Michelle Boutros. Yes, but... The state. Simply yes or no. ASA Michelle Boutros. Yes. Oh, no. That's just not a good look for what she said in her previous testimony. So this is what she said about Detective Moretti a month ago now.
I don't say anything to Moretti. I leave the room. I'm done with the statement. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done investigating this case. Because I don't work with detectives that solicit lies.
So she was that confident saying she doesn't work with detectives that solicit lies, but she still proceeded to work with him a little bit. And she said she never worked with him ever, but they have. YNW Melly's defense. Do you have a vendetta against Detective Moretti? Boutros, no. Melly's defense to Judge Murphy. I don't think anyone in this court or anybody should trust the morality or credibility of Detective Moretti. Moretti talks about at Crucial 365 suspicion via Twitter investigation where questioned by Melly defense if he did a thorough investigation. So this is that tweet from this guy that tweeted, "You want beef, think is sweet, we come aiming at the Jeep." At YNW Melly, 4 days, target practice, YNW Melly diss. And this was on the same day as the murders, 8 hours later after the murders. It was already public information that it was a Jeep involved in all of this. So like this guy was clout chasing with a diss song about Melly. Like this guy has nothing to do with this case, 100 million%. But this is a defense team seeing this suspicious tweet and being like, yo, did y'all investigate this guy? You didn't do a thorough investigation. Even though this guy's just a clout chasing like rapper who has nothing to do with the case whatsoever. The prosecution filed state supplemental discovery. It says USB contents previously delivered to defense counsel on September 27, 2023 on a USB drive. Video surveillance video number 1 showing Sergeant Hendricks arriving at the elevator, leaving elevators, as well as Adam Gorell arriving at the elevator, walking around consistent with the statement of being lost and leaving via elevators. Video also shows Jamie King and her attorney walking away from the hallway of this conference room and standing in the hallway chatting. Angle portrays Miss King using her hands to speak and make calls. Video later shows Miss King and her attorney leaving with Miss King holding items in her hand. So they're hinting that her hand wasn't really that injured because she was able to talk with her hands and use her phone to call. The state attorney's coming to fight, baby. Video angle depicts Miss King and her attorney showing up for the statement, entering the conference room. Hendrick enters at 11:27. He leaves at 11:34. Gorell finds the correct conference room and enters at 42. 38 seconds later, Deputy Gorell leaves. Video angle shows Miss King and her attorney leaving the conference room showing no signs of injury. They can be observed standing in the hall talking. Miss King observed using both her hands as well as using her hands to make calls from her attorney's phone. Miss King and her attorney re-enter the conference room. Oh, they went back in? I didn't know they went back in. I thought that was like the end and they just left. And they leave at 11 minutes after that, utilizing her hand holding an item. All this was caught on an audio file too, apparently, like inside the conference room. Miss King verbally and physically refusing to provide Moretti with her cell phone for over 2 minutes despite being served with a search warrant. Boutros informed Miss King she needed to hand her phone over, but she persisted in refusing, attempted to turn off the phone, which could have deleted the data. And Moretti grabbed the cell phone from her hand. Upon grabbing the phone, Miss King said, ouch. Showed no signs of pain in her wrist or fingers on the video. Boutros can be heard telling Miss King it appeared she was trying to turn off her cell phone. No. Boutros on the stand said she couldn't tell if she was turning off her phone actually. But in real life, when it happened, Boutros said that she was turning off her cell phone, like she could see it. And both agree they saw the power off screen appear on Miss King's phone. Oh, Boutros is a little liar. Why on the stand did she say she couldn't see anything on the phone? Her credibility is out the fucking window because she gave 2 conflicting statements. Sergeant Parker notes Boutros' sworn statement is inconsistent with the audio recording due to the fact that she told Parker she did not see Miss King attempt to turn off the phone. Gorell's sworn statement, sworn police report refute the accusation that Moretti and Gorell to declare he was present during the execution of the search warrants. This is the deputy that, you know, Moretti say he was there. I believe Moretti did say that. I believe he said for him to say he was in the room because he knows the search warrant, you know, laws and shit. So this is a judge right here, Judge Martin, basically saying that she can't get her phone back because it's subject of an investigation still. Holy shit, the Miss Boutros messed that up, dude. Well, if they call her now, she's just gonna get destroyed by the prosecution. Absolutely destroyed. All right, so here's another supplemental discovery right here. 3 subpoenas signed by Michelle Boutros for Moretti on 10/17/23. Bank of America records Cash App Records, Western Union Records. 5 days after the incident, she did all this for Moretti. She got all those subpoenas. So 10/12 was the day of the incident with Melly's mom. On 10/14, Boutros initiates contract with Moretti, asking if he had any luck getting into the phone, and follows up asking if he can determine when the phone was activated. And then 3 days after that, Moretti initiates contact with her, asking if she has a second to speak. The day before, right here on 10/11, Boutros emails Moretti case law on how an officer can make an arrest outside his jurisdiction with or without a warrant based on probable cause under the citizen's arrest theory. Boutros sends Moretti case law on affiance of search warrants for warrants executed outside their jurisdiction being permissible. This is so fishy. Why was she sending him that? But then in her testimony, she said she had no idea he was going to serve this search warrant the next day. But she sent all that the day before. Boutros is a little liar, dude. Like, straight up. Moretti emails Boutros a signed copy of search warrant to seize Miss King's phone and asks if she would mind printing the warrant for him, as he would not have the option to get the office prior to the statement. He emails her subpoenas and provides an update on the case 5 days later. Boutros forwards the 3 subpoenas to her assistant to be prepared 5 days later. Boutros signs all 3 subpoenas approving them 5 days later. So yeah, she's fucked. This just destroyed Boutros's whole reliability and credibility. I mean, I still think Moretti's a little liar with that situation, saying he didn't say that to the officer. I think he did say that because he was paranoid the day before, reading stuff about jurisdiction stuff that she sent to him. Like, clearly it was in his head, like, let me make sure this guy was in the room, or tell this guy that he should say he was in the room. I still think Moretti did that, but she also just looks terrible a month ago on the stand. That's an update for this case right now, boys. If you're new on the channel, subscribe from Twitter, Instagram. Love you guys. Peace out.